We've got the late-night blueprint everyone's whispering about, and you don't want to wake up. Tuesday hearing it secondhand. Exclusive, urgent, and brand new. How Kelvin Shepherd plans to build a cage around Lamar Jackson on Monday night. If you blink, you'll miss the one edge that could flip a national narrative in real time. If you breathe Honolulu blue, smash the like. Subscribe to Lions News Fan Report. Turn on notifications and drop a no sleep in Detroit in the comments so you're locked in with us when the ball is kicked and the game turns into a chess match at full. Speed. Say Lamar's name in any defensive room and it gets quiet for a second. Coaches recalibrate their words. Veterans roll their shoulders and exhale. Two-time MVP, the most unsolvable riddle at quarterback, a runner who steals angles, and a passer who punishes hesitation. He already owns ground records and still gets better from the pocket every season. There's no one else like him. He's the final boss between the lines and a statement win on the road. Detroit knows this all too well because history with Baltimore is tattooed on our timeline. 2021, the defense survives body blow after body blow, forces 2 sacks on the final drive, sets up a 4th and 19 that should have ended it, and then a deep dart keeps the drive alive before a historic 66-yarder kisses the crossbar and rips out the stadium's lungs. 2023, the Avalanche, 28-0 before you find your seat. Jackson carving through progressions like a surgeon, and we walk out with the kind of 38-6 that burns into an offseason. That's the scar tissue that built this week's urgency. That's why Dan Campbell challenged the entire building, and why Shepherd hasn't slept like a normal human since the schedule dropped. So, what does caging Lamar actually mean? It does not mean blitzing your face off and turning the game into a track meet you can't win. It does not mean spying him every snap and playing 10 on -11 football. The plan, as it's been taught all week, is built on layers and rules-disciplined aggression, not fear. Start with the rush. This isn't a go-get-sacks game. It's a squeeze-the-pocket game. Level rush, not staggered. Ends must keep outside pads clean and never cross the quarterback's face unless the inside is closed. Interior must collapse without over-penetrating. Hands high and eyes disciplined for the pump, because he'll freeze you with a shoulder fake and turn a crease into a runway. Must rush on long yardage, then switch to trap pressure's present 6, bring 4, drop a defensive end under the glance route, and make Lamar hitch. Every extra half second is a gift to the back 7. Now the spy. It's not a martyr. It's a ghost. On early downs, you don't burn a body just to watch. You rotate the responsibility. Safety robber on short to intermediate. Linebacker with the green dog if the back stays in. Nickel peel rules if the back releases late. 3rd and 6+ is where the true spy appears athlete on athlete. Depth at 7 yards, shuffle pause technique. Break on the upfield shoulder. The spy isn't chasing. He's closing escape lanes everyone else creates. If Lamar breaks contain, the spy forces him toward help, not into space. That's the difference between a 6-yard stress play and a 38-yard backbreaker. Edges will live with cage rush. Rules all night. Aid and Hutchinson, it's one more step of patience and one more strike with inside hand before you counter. Don't give him your hip. Make him feel your length. If he spins, push through the upfield shoulder and spill to the scraper. If he bails backward, retrace with tight angles. No banana loops, no flybys. Contain isn't a slogan. It's geometry. Inside. This game belongs to the bigs and the backers. Win first down and the script flips. If you're running light boxes, fit like you're heavy. 2-gap when they run zone read, so the second level isn't in 2 minds. When they motion to empty, check out a static looks. The worst thing you can give Lamar is a still picture. Spin late, lean into simulated pressure, and steal his first read. When he pulls it, pursuit needs to be layered. Force, spill, alley. Simple words, hard execution. Do it right, and you'll feel the field tilt gradually in your favor. Do it wrong once, and you're running highlights back in your head for a month. Detroit has earned the right to believe this isn't the same defense Baltimore saw. Aiden is older and craftier. Brian Branch is a heat-seeking problem in the slot. Jack Campbell trusts his keys instead of staring at the quarterback's shoulders. Kirby Joseph has seen enough deep overs to break on them in his sleep. The corners can play top-down and challenge timing without giving away explosives. The interior, with size and shock, can set a hard edge inside out and deny cutback lanes that turn modest gains into drive extenders. Conditioning matters here. This is a 60-minute ask against a guy who makes you play 4 seconds at a time. It's the kind of night where tackling technique near foot, near shoulder, wrap and roll decides whether the stadium gets loud or goes silent. There's another truth nobody loves to say out loud. The offense might be the best defense Detroit has. Possession football isn't pretty for the highlight crowd. It's lethal against quarterbacks who thrive on chaos. Long, patient drives are little acts of theft. You're stealing possessions from Lamar. Jared Goff can be that thermostat. Amon-Ra St. Brown is your chain mover, the guy who turns a 3rd and 7 into a shrug and a first down. The backs, whether it's gap or duo, need to hammer fronts until they feel like they're being moved by a tide. Use motion to force tells, then exploit the soft edge with quick hitters and RPOs that punish overplay. When you get to the red zone, 3 isn't enough in a game like this. Play action on the goal line, rub routes with crisp landmarks. Backside leaks to punish man eyes score touchdowns, not field goals. And you'll watch the other sideline change its math. The memory of those early 3-and-outs a couple years back is a cautionary tale. You can't go 3 series of nothing and expect the 4th to be a miracle. The plan has been hammered. First 15 scripted with answers to pressure. Fast screens to punish aggression, a shot early if the corner jumps a glance, then back to rhythm. If you live in 2nd and 5, you get your entire call sheet. If you live in 3rd and 10, you get a punt. On special teams, little hinges swing big doors. You can hide explosives with field position. Kickoff depth and hang time matter. Tackle inside the 25, and your defense starts downhill. Punt direction is part of defense angle to the boundary, and make them play with half a field. In a game where 1 extra snap feels like contraband, a hidden 40 yards is the difference between Lamar snapping at midfield and Lamar seeing a full field of Detroit blue. There's also a human layer to all of this. The locker room still remembers the feeling of being on the wrong end of that. History and the helplessness of the Avalanche last year. That memory can haunt you or sharpen you. From what we've heard and seen, it's the latter. You can tell by how they talked after the last win. Nobody beat their chest. Everybody looked ahead. That's a team that understands the assignment. Monday night is not vengeance. It's a measuring stick. Let's walk through the if-then, as that will define this thing. If Lamar starts pulling the mesh and turning the corner, then the Nichols force technique must tighten, and the safety must fit faster outside in. If he starts beating too high with seams, then rotate late to robber looks and cap the bender with a physical reroute at 5 yards. If he begins to live on extended plays, then the front must compress the pocket from depth, and the spy must shorten split seconds, not widen them. If Detroit's pass rush stalls, then slant and stunt until a guard gets on skates and the timing breaks. And what if the game flips and Detroit takes a lead? Then Shepard gets to dial the parts of the plan that hurt most creeper pressures. Simulated overloads that make the protection slide the wrong way. Hard doubles on the first read and forced hitch throws into windows that close like elevator doors. Lamar will still make plays. That's in the DNA. The job is to make the plays he gets expensive and the windows he sees claustrophobic. There will be moments that feel unfair. A 3rd and forever where he shrugs off a clean hit and finds a receiver whose route was over 3 seconds ago. A scramble drill where your perfect leverage turns into a wrong shoulder and the sticks move anyway. If that happens, take a breath. The staff has preached this. Don't let the one become the avalanche. When the camera cuts to Campbell and he nods, understand he's telling the team to go back to rules, not vibes. So here's the call to you, Detroit. Be with us, live. Because this one will be about inches and eye discipline and the kind of collective will that doesn't translate in a box score. Hit subscribe, like the video, and drop your prediction and your spy pick in the comments. Who should track Lamar on third and medium? Do you want a branch shadow, a backer with wheels, or a rotating answer that never lets him lock in? Tell us your first 15 on offense. Go for the throat early, or grind the clock like a vice. This community knows ball, and we're reading the best takes on our postgame show. My Take. With my name on it, Cage Concepts, not Hero Ball, will decide this. I'd rotate the spy branch in high leverage, Campbell in middle field, Joseph lurking robber on obvious pass, and I live in a level rush that treats sacks as bonuses, not targets. Offensively, I'd accept some ugly 3-yard runs to make the fourth quarter beautiful, and I call red zone plays like I need 7 or I lose because against Lamar you might. If Detroit wins the hidden yardage battle, tackles with intent, and forces 3, hold your breath, throws instead of 1, this is the night the narrative tilts. Now it's your turn, Lions fans. What did I miss? What did I nail? And how would you cage the most electric player in football? Tap in below, and no sleep until kickoff.